What's up? Who's first? I know you're first. You always got some good ones. Here we go.
First day in pads. It didn't look like anybody slowed down. That has to be a good sign, right?
Yeah. You know, it's like riding a bike. They got pads on, knock a little rust off, and we get going pretty quick.
And then what about practicing at night? Did Coach Jones have to motivate the guys to get them hyped up, or was the energy level pretty good?
You know, the energy level tonight probably wasn't as good as it has been. I think that's a thing, a sudden change. We got to be able to react a little bit. You know, we had a long time, classes still going on, some things they had to fight through, these young guys, and you know, Coach Jones does a really good job of keeping them out, never really letting them get comfortable. And tonight we saw it. We had some mistakes, you know, for my guys, especially the young guys, because they couldn't handle sudden change yet. So that's why we always make it different, always changing it up on them, because they got to be able to adapt.
You were pretty open in the spring about how far y'all needed to go as a receiving core. Where do you stand now about where you are now versus maybe where you were at the end of the spring, aside from the injuries?
Yeah, you know, I feel a lot better now because of our depth is improved. The competition level has improved. The understanding of the offense has improved. We got a long way to go. There's really not one person stepping above the rest right now. They're all getting better, very slowly, but I feel a lot better than I did the spring, just from a pure depth standpoint. So you can coach a lot more guys and you can rotate a lot more guys, and so it's been better that way.
I know the depth chart really doesn't mean anything at this point, but we saw Josh and Marquez get some first team action there yesterday. I mean, what does that say that they were able to do that in a 4 or 5 day span to kind of push for that notice?
Well, you know what? They're both really good athletes, and they bring a lot to our table as far as competition and things. And here's the thing: is there's no depth chart right now. I know what the other guys can do because they had 15 practices to show me, and I got 25 days to find out if anyone else can do it. So rather than waste time, I'm throwing them in the grease and seeing what we got.
In your history, I mean, how comfortable are you giving substantial playing time to a true freshman if need be? I mean,
well, I'm comfortable with giving the best players playing time, and if those happen to be guys with black stripes, they happen to be guys with black stripes. I told my wife today this season may age me about 10 years, but there'll be some peaks and valleys for sure. But you know, there'll be a lot of growing pains, but they're willing, and it'll be fun coaching these young guys.
What's the hardest part about getting a freshman ready to play? When you make that call and says, he's one of our guys who can help us. What's the hardest part about getting ready?
The hardest part is just the grind, getting them through a grind of the season and having them understand what it takes to play at this level. Film work, keeping their bodies fresh, maintaining school and managing school. They've never had to do a load like this and go, by the way, play in front of 102,000 people, you know, on national television. So just trying to get them to mature slowly but surely. They're going to make mistakes, not letting them get discouraged, and just kind of seeing which one's the most mature. That's the hardest part.
In 25 practices, when do you start worrying about it hitting the wall? Other drive, you worry about that?
Yeah, I worry about it now. I mean, I think Coach Jones is the best in the business at hey, what does our team need today? He doesn't just follow the script, and that's what we're doing no matter what. He has a great pulse on our team. Hey, Zach, what do your guys need? You feel like their legs are wearing out. What do we need to do different? What do we need to keep them off balance? So we constantly monitor whether we're going to hit that wall or not.
Were you maybe surprised how ready they were, or they maybe as green coming in practice one as you thought they would be?
That's a great question. I don't know if I was surprised. You know, they're very good athletes, our freshmen are, you know, all the way to Jonathan Johnson, who we brought in. So I'm really encouraged. Green, don't know our style of play yet, don't know our mentality, all the little things that Coach Jones and our staff preaches. But as far as just being able to run around and catch the ball, I'm really pleased.
How about your leadership? You were pretty vocal at the end of the spring about challenging guys to be leaders. We've heard some of the older, I guess they're not really older, but guys who played before, was talking about helping those young guys. Do you get the sense your room's developing some leadership?
Yeah, slow but sure. Still not anywhere near what I want. I'm drenched in sweat. I shouldn't be. I wish I have a little bit more alpha male in our group, but we just don't. And part of the reason is because we don't have a guy that stepped up and taken a starting job yet. You know, so no one's really stepped up and said, "I'm the man. Follow me." Everyone's still trying to find their way, feel their way, and earn a spot.
Is Jason Crew anywhere close to being that guy? To being that guy that takes one of the jobs?
I think they're all there. I'll be honest with you. That's not coach speak. I really don't know. You know, we'd move Jason around here and there. He's playing the slot now, playing outside. You know, we're just trying to find the best place and the best chemistry with these 4 or 5 receivers to where they'll help us the most.
When do you start narrowing down who plays where? Because all your players are talking about, like the second day you flip every position, every practice is like the day before. When do you start going, that's a slot, that's a Z, that's a W. When do you get to that point?
I have a pretty good idea, but I'm going to put the best four on the field. And whoever that might be, if it's Jason Cruden in the slot, it's him in the slot. If it's Big Howard outside, it's him outside. Whatever it is, I'm going to get the best four guys out there that give us a chance to win. So I'm going to develop that through these practices and find out who our playmakers are. And the playmakers are going to go play, and I'll teach them the position.
So all your
Just a
freshmen
couple
will
more
have to
guys.
all the spots.
All the spots.
How many
When
guys a
y'all look
game
at
do
the
you?
first scrimmage? Do you know yet?
We got after a little bit tonight live, did some live stuff. But you know what? I go day by day in training camp. So whatever coach tells us we're doing tomorrow, that's what we're doing.
I know Tig was talking about watching some Antonio Brown film. How much do you show those guys, like what Antonio Brown's done, what Abder's has done, just to show them
I show
what
them
the
all the time.
examples of?
We had an hour-long meeting today, and all we watched was Jared Abder's cut-ups, just so they understand what an older veteran receiver plays like every snap. You know, Antonio Brown's the same way. A lot of technique stuff with Antonio. So absolutely, I think the best way is to show those guys what you want too. It's one thing to drill it, but then you press play and they're like, okay, wow, okay, coach, that's what you're looking for. So we do it all the time.
Ideally, how many receivers would you like to have in your rotation? Is there an ideal number you got? Or?
Yeah, the ideal number would be 9. I'll be honest with you. I'd love to take 9 on the road and play all night.